everybody, my name is Luke Marr and this is Hot Mode, and today on Hot Mode we are back with a Coachella 2023 Weekend 1 fashion roast and review. For context, if you don't know, Coachella is a once a year, I guess it's twice a year, it just happens 2 different weekends once a year, music festival that's held out in California, and in the past few years it's turned into like an influenza experience, and by influenza I mean influencer. There was a host of performers as well. Björk, Blackpink, Bad Bunny. There was a lot of people there. So we're going to be breaking down some of the looks to discuss. For context, I've never been, I never want to go, so I don't really know what it's like to attend. But you know, am I still going to judge the outfits? Absolutely. First up is TikTok's new fave gal, and that is Alix Earle. Now, Alix Earle, I believe, is wearing Guess, and it's a full Guess Originals look. It's a black bra, a leather motocross vest style with what looks to be like a macrame trellis sleeve and some sort of macrame bolero element going on too, so maybe they're 2 different pieces. Green sheer flare pant with cutouts as well that sort of run down the front. Now, considering that Alix Earle, from my understanding, is like a TikTok girly who sort of is, I would say, the zeitgeist of the modern young white woman, this is like not that bad. Okay. For some reason, I'm kind of into the layering element of it. I think that the black bra with the black leather vest, it's like fine, but I think that that little bolero of macrame works. I think it adds that sort of bohemian, homely style that you think of when you think of a festival, when you think of music and desert in California. Also, the pants, listen, I won't say they exactly fit in with what's going on up top, but I think that they do complement it. I think the green works. I think it's nice. I think it's fun. I think black, cream, and green, it all goes together. I think the sheer element is good. I think it works. I think the little cutouts add a nice continuity between the exposing of the body up top and on the sleeves, on the arms. I don't know. I was going into this being like, oh, Alix Earle, she's another sort of basic gal. And not that that's bad. I don't think that this is necessarily boring. Kind of shows a little bit of a tenacity. I'm intrigued by Alix Earle. This is a good first outing on the Hot Mode experience for her. Next up, we have Bad Bunny, and he is wearing Earle. And honestly, every time that I say Bad Bunny out loud, I literally think of the Vogue video where he's like,
"This is made for Bad Bunny. I'm Bad Bunny."
I am Bad Bunny.
That's, I don't know.
It's what I think of every time. It makes me really happy. He's wearing Earle by Eli Russell. Now, this is a patchwork puffa, plaids and florals and different motifs all throughout, checkerboards and all that sort of stuff. And I think there's a matching pant at the time. And I know that Bad Bunny probably performed later, so maybe it was cold in the desert, so that's why he's wearing the puffer. Again, I don't really know. I do think that the puffer is fun. I do think that the matching pant is also fun. I like the fact that we let puffer and the pant dominate the look. There's no shirt underneath. There's just a lot of necklaces. I think it makes sense for Bad Bunny. I think it's cool and chic. I like the fact that we're picking on a young designer to sort of work with, somebody that's still kind of up and coming, even though I think Earle definitely is sort of reaching a cultural zeitgeisty experience. I like it. I think it's fun. I think it fits Bad Bunny's vibe. It's a little bit more masculine, I would say, in terms of like the puffer and the pant, but I think the motif sort of brings out that feminine energy that I think people love about Bad Bunny. So I like it. I don't know what's with these like cropped ass shots where we can't get a full goddamn picture of a celebrity, but next up we have Billie Eilish. She is wearing, honestly, I don't know. It's like a jacket, black shirt, black baseball hat, and looks to be like a black pant or a black short. It feels like Billie at least is going sort of performance-wise here, which she sticks to doing athleisure wear, big baggy sort of clothing, which honestly for performances, I get, it makes sense, I respect it. I like the fact that you have the white sort of paint splatter all throughout the jacket. I think it's fun, I think it adds a little bit of texture, but overall, it's a little bit blah blah Billie. It's not super exciting, it's not super memorable, but also I understand the need for it to be like a performance look that she can move and she can groove in, but I don't know, I think I've seen like performance looks from Billie where it's a little bit more exciting, so I want her to bring it back up. Next up we have Björk, an icon. Björk wore 2 different Noir Ninomiya looks to perform. Now this first one I believe is custom, and if it's not custom, it's from a runway that I can't find. What it is a black gown that in reality sort of flares out around, I would say, the sort of mid-thigh area and creates a big sort of gorgeous skirt that sort of moves and grooves in a curved sort of manner. And from what I saw online, Björk had drones that were like doing a performance and they were moving in this very sort of interesting manner. And it seems to me like the hem of the skirt is moving in a similar wavy motion. And I love that. And I don't know if that's what she's trying to do, but like in my head, that's what she's trying to do. So it makes sense. The black sheer fabric is held together by what looks like metal bars that help to create this really intriguing texture. They shine, so the light really hits them and reflects off of them. But also I think that's how you get that fabric to make that really intriguing curvaceous shape, but at the same time you get it to really hold that curvaceous shape in a very sort of stiff manner. I can imagine that that skirt is very stiff and that it wobbles rather than sort of moves very fluidly because of the metal pieces that run all throughout it. And then up top you have what looks like, you know, those little Disney wands that you used to get when you were a kid, and it had a little sort of plastic wisp. It almost looked like a paintbrush, and at the end they lit up. That's what the top kind of reminds me of. The way that it juts and creates this really intriguing sort of organism-like presence up top is fun and cool, and it's different. Noir Ninomiya is a Japanese brand. They are sort of under the umbrella of like a Comme des Garçons in the same way like a Junya Watanabe is, where very much so supported by Comme and Dover Street, which is the store that sells a lot of Comme des Garçons, and Rei Kawakubo. Noir Ninomiya does a lot of experimentation. It's very fashion forward. It's very avant-garde, a very cool brand. I love that Björk is wearing it, and it makes sense that Björk is wearing it because she's always very avant-garde and fashion forward. The headpiece, I love. I don't know what's going on. It's like bug eye-ish, and I just love it. It's a whole lot of look, but Björk pulls it off. There's that. But then Björk did it again. She changed her outfit and she added another Noir Ninomiya look, and I believe that this is the closing look from the fall 2023 collection, and it's again this, I want to call it fiberglass, but it's not fiberglass, it just looks like fiberglass to me, but it looks like mycelium, the roots, I believe, of like mushrooms, and so that's what this looks like to me. I love it. It's like a shroud of mycelium-esque whatever this is. It's crazy. I mean, if we look up close, we can see the little sort of circles in it and the way that the little sort of fibers jump out. It looks like a mold is taking over her body. It looks like she's being decomposed as we speak, but it's like the most beautiful decomposition I've ever seen in my entire life. And I just love Björk, and I just love fashion, and I love Noir Ninomiya, and I just think that this is like the best thing I've seen, honestly, probably all year. So thank you to Björk. Next up, we have the ladies of Blackpink. Now listen, I tried to find who they were wearing. I have gone through, honestly, every single fandom Instagram account. I cannot find it. I'm very sorry. I apologize. Take me out like the horse later. The ladies are all wearing black and pink. Blackpink, the band. Blackpink on the look. Blackpink in your area. It all makes sense. And we're going to start with Jisoo. She is wearing, it's a crop top, but it's like a halter crop top. It has a sort of frou-frou draped bra style that reaches into this sort of backless collar. I really like it. I think it's fun. I think the drape texture sort of plays well against the corset crop top situation going on there. Then you have a little black hot pant and a frou-frou pink wrap around applique that starts up top and then sort of a little bit falls down and creates little tassels on the side. I think it's cute. I think it's fun. I think it keeps that frou-frou element going on. The black styles are a lot more hard-hitting. They're a lot more sort of close to the body, and the pink sort of is frothy and fun on top. We then can see Jennie is wearing a pink corset crop top and pink hot pant. The boning of the corset sort of has silver running all throughout it, and in reality, do I like it? No. It just feels a little bit mall prom store for me. I think it should have been like stepped up a little more. I understand that it's performance-wise. I understand that it's meant to be poppy and showy. It just feels a little bit cheap. The black bolero jacket, I do think it's good that the silver embellishments going on at the shoulder area plays into what's going on the boning of the corset like that. I like that, I understand. But overall, it's not my favorite look from Jennie. We then have Lisa wearing a black crop top and black hot pant as well. Her sleeves are sort of silvery. They're free-flowing. They're intriguing, and there's a little sort of pink froth that flows out from the sides of the shorts. Again, I like the frothy pink that flows out. I think the hot pant and the crop top all in the black works. The sleeves, I like the idea of them, but I just don't know if, again, all of these little pieces work together super well to create a strong and formed outfit. And then we have Rosé. She is wearing a black, I believe it's like a little romper jumpsuit. The pink sort of frou-frou fabric flows out. I like this one a little bit more than what's been going on the previous two. But again, I think that the placement of the pink frou-frou coming down here doesn't really make sense. It sort of divides the look. It feels awkward and baby-like. Again, I think if you're gonna do like a jumpsuit that's a romper, it's really good to make sure that you do not look like a toddler. It's tough, it's hard, but it can be done. I just think the pink frou-frou element here gives it babies are us, and I don't want that. And listen, I like the Blackpink girls, you know what I mean? We'll talk about a few of them later, but this is not what I expected. Next up, we have Burna Boy, and he wore a Louis Vuitton look when he performed on stage. It looks to me like a Virgil Abloh LV look. I know that now Earle is the creative director of Louis Vuitton's menswear, but in reality, this just sort of plays back to me of like old Virgil collections. It's the Louis Vuitton motif. It looks to be sort of matte lissade into the style. So in reality, it looks like it's raised on the fabric, but it's still a part of the fabric. So it's not like sewn or appliqued on with needle and thread, but rather when it's woven, it's sort of woven to be a little bit more raised and give that intriguing texture. The motif in and of itself sort of feels blurred and industrial to a degree. I think even the structure of the look, like the jacket and the pant, has a sort of industrial workwear vibe to it. The black boots sort of play well. It's not my favorite Louis Vuitton, motif look that I've ever seen, but I don't think it's bad in any way. I think that it captures sort of that essence and era of Virgil at LV, so I'm okay with it. Next up, we have Camila Cabello, and she was attending Coachella. I don't believe that she performed, and she's wearing a white crop top. It has lacing on both sides. One side looks a little bit undone. And then she's wearing a high-rise blue jean. It has some pockets attached. It's very festival goer. I don't really think it's great, but it's festival goer. I get it. There's an aesthetic, there's a style. Do I think these are the best pieces from that aesthetic and style? No, but I get it, even though I don't want to. Then we had Charli D'Amelio. She wore a white dress from Doll's Kill. It's a white strap dress full of studs. There's sort of studs on the straps, there's studs across the waist, and then in reality we have a deep sort of plunge, a little keyhole cutout, a little baby cutout. Then we have a white sort of, looks like to me a handkerchief skirt, which in reality, if you don't know what a handkerchief skirt is, the way that it's cut and assembled, lower vibe and then it comes up, and lower vibe and then comes up, it creates the way that if you were to put a handkerchief on your finger, the way that it would flow down. It wouldn't be a sort of circle skirt, rather it would be lower in certain places and higher in other places. I think when you add the fishnet tights and the black boots, it definitely gives it more of a I'm going to Coachella vibe. It's very white, it's very pristine at the end of the day. If she was going to like the actual festival part, probably be a little bit dirty, a little bit grass stained, a little bit dusty, but I don't hate the look, you know what I mean? I think it's fine. Does it seem very practical? No, but fine. We had Charli in another look as well. This time it's a black off-the-shoulder lettuce hem top and then a large floor-length skirt with a slit, black boots, and a big Western belt. Again, I don't hate it. Listen, I think it feels very boho. It feels very sort of 1970s inspired. It feels very sort of natural. I'm not mad about it. I think it's cute. I think it works. A little bit different for Chuck, but I'm okay with it. Then we have Claudia Sulewski, who is wearing, honestly, I don't know, but I like the fact that she took a Corona Extra t-shirt and then paired it over a long white dress. I love it. I think it's fun. I think it's different. I think it's exciting. I like the brown workwear jacket over top, the Billie Eilish Pornhub logo style, to each their own. I just like the way that the Corona tee looked over that big long dress. I think that's a fun sort of style. I think it's different. I think it's cool layering. I was into it. Next up, we have Doechi, and she is wearing Rick Owens. I love this. This to me is like good performance wear. This is very Rick Owens-y. I mean, that pink fabric really truly is reflective. It's very grungy. It's kind of cheap looking, but at the same time, because it's Rick, you know that it's very expensive, cheap looking fabric. The great thing about Rick is you have this crop top style, what looks to be a bolero that's sleeved and has what I call them the devil horn shoulders. They're very dramatic, they're very prevalent, and they look like horns. They look almost like your bones stuck up, like somebody broke them on purpose to make them stand up like that. And then what I can only describe as the literal definition of a hot pant. is barely a hot pant, and I love it. I think it's great. All of these sort of styles in the same fabric, I think it gives a great continuity. The zipper up the front of this hot pant is ridiculous. And again, I think it's magical. I think it's fun. I think it's funky. I know that Doechi could definitely move in it. You know what I mean? Like, she's able to move and groove. Again, I think it's really great to see a look that is very performance-based. There's a lot of body exposed. There's a lot of sort of movement being able to be done. But that devil horn really gives you the ability to showcase, oh, this is a Rick Owens look. It definitely has that homage to the brand. It definitely keeps a cool house code that you see a lot of recently. I just think Doechi gets it. She understands it. I'm sold, very much so. Next up, we have Emma Chamberlain, and she is going full vintage for Coachella. She's wearing a Vivienne Westwood sort of vest jacket, and then a vintage diesel fanny pack style bag, and then a white hot pant, a white turtleneck long sleeve shirt. It feels very Emma Goes on Safari, and I think it's fun. I think it's cool. I think that it fits in, honestly, with the whole Coachella aesthetic. It's a little bit different, and it definitely feels very Emma. I think the looks that she had from last year seem very similar to this sort of style. And it feels like she's actually married the way to go to the festival and also at the same time be fashion and not just run-of-the-mill, blah, blah, boring. So yeah, I like it. I think it's fun. I think that it feels very modern. It feels very minimal. It feels very sleek. It feels at the same time still like kind of utilitarian, as in you're going to be able to sort of load those pockets and that bag with stuff that you need while you're jumping around and listening and sitting and picking grass and, you know, waiting on long lines for drinks as you do at music festivals. I've been to one. I like the look. I think it's cool. It makes sense. Next up, we have Emma Roberts, and she is wearing a white Prada lace dress. Now listen, if you're going to do a white frothy dress with some lace detailing, I would say that this Prada look is probably the one you should do. Pretty positive this is from spring 2023. It was a really great collection, and these beautiful sort of coats and dresses came out on the runway. They were white, sort of frothy, almost lingerie-esque sort of styles in cotton, very chemise-like, but what they had was lace appliques that ran sort of along the top and along the waist here, but also had the Prada logo done in this white applique, so it's sheer, but it still says Prada on it. It has the iconic Prada logo. Like, it's cool. Like, it is cool. It's a cool way to do logomania. You know what I mean? A lot of the times we do logomania and it sucks. I think Prada is one of the brands that really understands how to do it in a way that feels intelligent, articulate, and at the same time still within the house confines and still understandable to the everyday person. I like the dress. Do I like the jelly shoes? No. But I love the dress. Stan her. Next up, we have Milli, and she is wearing Pucci, I believe. Now, this is a Pucci sort of, I believe it's a bathing suit. It looks like it's a bra top and a bikini bottom. But then there's a sort of faux kimono style. It has big sort of long sleeves that jump out. They're a little bit sort of bell sleevage. And then from the back, we can see there's a little bit of fabric that flows out, kind of like a kimono inspired. So it's definitely not a kimono, but inspired by. But it's in that sort of iconic Pucci motif. It's squiggly, it's psychedelic, it's very 60s, it's bright, it's punchy, it's colorful. I like it. The black cowboy boots, I'm okay with. I'm fine with that. I like her. I think she works. And also, Milli has been a Pucci girl for a very long time. She's been wearing like vintage Pucci for years. So it's cool to see her in new Pucci. I think that she should be like a brand ambassador. It makes sense for her. She gets it. She's been doing it for a while. So I like to see it. Next up, we have Glorilla, and she is also wearing Pucci. She's wearing, again, a bikini bra top and a high-waisted pair of leggings that have 3 ruffles. They're like flamenco ruffles. Start right above the ankle, I would say. I think that the Milli look is great. I think it's fun. I think it's chic. I think the Glorilla look, though, it needs a little something up top. I think the pant in and of itself is like awkward. I like the motif, of course, and I get the flamenco-y sort of ruffle, but it's just like a pair of ruffled leggings, and I just think it looks weird and strange and awkward. And then just the bra top, I feel like it's not helping what's going on down below. So there's moments where we love Pucci. There are other moments where we do not. Then we had Hailey Bieber. She went very simple, white crop top, exposed stomach, very baggy, loose-fitting black jeans, black shoes, black bag, black sunglasses. Boring. Uninteresting. I'm going to the festival, and that's that. So thank you, Hailey Bieber, for your SEO. help. Next up, we have James Charles. Normally I don't talk about James Charles, but like it's Coachella, so there's always something. But shockingly, James Charles finally got it together and wore Diesel by Glenn Martens. And you know what? You know what I'm gonna say? It's hard to make Diesel look bad. I do like the jeans with the darker denim fit and then the low slung element underneath in a lighter denim. I think that's smart. The top, I like it. I just don't like the tie around element with the backless detail. It's just like covering up never hurt. One would appreciate if we did every once in a while. Thank God for Glenn Martens. We could do without James Charles. Next up, we have Jennie from Blackpink, and now she is wearing a full look by Seo Sung-yeon, and that is a young Korean up-and-coming designer. Jennie wore a full crop top that is encrustulated with pearls and pearlescence and lace looking styled underneath. So it looks like it's a lace sort of crop top that exposes the collarbone area, the mid section of the stomach. And then what also happens is pearls just rush all over the look. They're draped, they're piping, they're trimming, they're doing all of the things. Jennie is a Chanel woman, brand ambassador, and in reality this feels very sort of Chanel up top, which I think is smart. As for the frou-frou skirt, I don't mind it. I think it's fine. I guess it's not really a skirt, it's more of like a hot pant with a frou-frou pleated tulle or chiffon over top. I don't hate it, I get it, I understand. The leg warmers though I love. I think they're cute, I think they're fun, I think they're sweet. The little shoes with the little bows and the crystals or pearls or whatever, I think those are also sweet and enjoyable. I like when the ladies of Blackpink do individual elements because I think that they really like shine individually too. They work that out very well. Then we had Jisoo of Blackpink, and she wore a David Coma look. I don't know if this is custom or not. There are metal red flowers that are held together by this chainmail, and I think it's so fun. I think it's so cool. I think it's so chic. I think it's so elegant. I think that it really does have a sort of flair and dancey performance wear-ness to it, but at the same time it feels kind of a little bit regal, a little bit more dressed up, a little bit more opulent. I think that a lot of people just go, oh, I'm doing a performance. What I'm going to do is wear something that I'm very comfortable in, and that's great. But also I think there are people that I'm going to do performance and I'm going to turn out a look. And I love those people a little bit more because in reality they're like, listen, pain is beauty. I will handle it for this set. Bang, bang, boom. And I think that Jisoo here is one of the latter people, which makes me love her more. The red gloves with the flowers that jump off of it, I also love. I think it's cool. And then the shoes, don't love the shoes, but like, it's fine. I get it. Feels a little bit ballroom dancing, but the dress makes up for it. The gloves make up for it. Very happy again. I think when the ladies of Blackpink are doing solo, I say YOLO. Next up, we have Kendall Jenner, and she was at Coachella, I believe, because she was doing a branded thing for her tequila. She's wearing a black crop top. It looks like it has a sort of cutout element. And also, I think she's like the creative director of Forward, which is part of Revolve. I don't really understand it. Then she has a black pair of jeans on. I believe these are jeans, because there's a little fray right at the top, right at the waistband. I like that. I think that's fun. I think that's cool. I don't really know how those fit. I feel like they have to almost be like made for you because no waistband, it's over for me. The black sandals, don't love. The Jesus sandals need to go. And then a Fendi bag, you know, again, don't really get it, don't really love it. Listen, I like the jeans a lot. Everything else, I'm good. Next up, we have Kylie Jenner. Now, Kylie Jenner showed up to Coachella in a Courrèges jacket by Nicolas de Felice. I like the jacket. I love Courrèges. I think it's a great brand. It has history in the 1960s, space age, youthquake, swinging 60s. Very much so. A wonderful brand, and I think Nicolas de Felice has really, really brought it back, especially in the age of Aquarius, the 1960s, the 2020s. Like, there's a camaraderie, so it's beautiful to see that. The jacket in and of itself, we can see the seamage, we can see that very intriguing PVC leather detailing going on all throughout. It's a very sort of utilitarian jacket. Top underneath, I love the sheer with the lace bra situation. It's cool. It feels very flowy. It feels very boho, but like in a much newer, much more modern sort of way. I respect it. And then she's wearing a jean skirt. Fine with it. Not mad about it. I think it's good. This is like an intriguing Kylie look. I'm happy with it. Next up, we have Lele Pons, and she is wearing Area. Now, this is a heart bra, I believe, in denim with the signature Area crystals that run all along the trim and create that sort of outline of the heart. We can also see she's wearing a pair of hot denim pants, and there is a heart crystal cutout. She's matching pink little boots. I like it. Area is a great brand. I think it's a great brand for Coachella, to be completely honest. It's fun, it's poppy, it's bright, it's crystallized, it's shiny. There's really avant-garde Area moments, but I think there's also really, really fun, more normal Area looks too. And I think this is a great example of it. Shout out to Lele Pons for that. Who would have thought I would be shouting out Lele Pons, but I am. Next up, we have Lisa from Blackpink. Lisa is wearing a Mugler bodysuit. As we can see, it's a sheer style underneath. We can see the skin tone, and then what I believe is a reflective silver and or black sort of opaque fabric that again sort of sculpts the body in the way that those Casey Cadwallader Mugler bodysuits do. But then what she's wearing over top is a Chi bodysuit. Chi is a young Chinese designer who is up and coming and sort of on the swing in the international fashion scene. Silver applique materialization going on here. It's fun. It feels very futuristic. It feels different. I also like the fact that again, like with the Blackpink girls, like when they're doing their own thing, they do really pull out textures and they pull out sort of layering and they pull out fashion moments. It feels styled rather than just like full look, which I think is what we get from a lot of celebrities. It's just full look off the runway. But rather, I think with the women of Blackpink, they really they let their stylist style them, which I think is fun and nice. And I think that here, again, it works out. Next up, we have Lori Harvey, and I believe that she is wearing Revolve. Now, this is, I believe it looks like a tank dress, and if it's not, it looks like a tank dress. But I do like the fact that it has the cutouts. There's a little keyhole right in the center, and then there's cutout right at sort of the stomach area on the right side. But I think the thing that really makes it interesting is it almost looks like the dress is made up of a bunch of different tank tops that have been sort of sutured together. I mean, it looks like the bottom half is sort of overlapping near the shoulder area. It looks like the top half sort of taking over the bottom of the dress. It's a cool concept. It's a cool design. One issue I will say is it looks like there's a little bit of like a fit issue. We can see a little crumple and rumpling where the cutout is element a little bit on the side in the hip area. But like besides that, I think the dress is cool. I think it's a cool concept. I don't hate it. Black boots, black bag, makes sense. I get it. Long story short, I do wish it fit a little bit better. But other than that, I think it's okay. I'm shocked. I'm shocked I like a Revolve look. Look at me. Expanding horizons. Next up, we have Madison Beer. I believe that she is also wearing Revolve. The reason that I want to talk about this look is I like a macrame moment. Again, I feel like it's very boho, it's very troll, very sort of handcraft vibe. And the thing about this macrame overlay dress is that it seems to be embellished with some sequins at certain points. So it looks like the sequins are blue or white, the way that the light is reflecting off of them. And I think it's intriguing. The black sort of bikini situation going on underneath works. The matching macrame-ish bag and then the hiking boots, I get it. I wish the boots were kind of maybe in like black or something because I just think it would have played into the rest of the look better, or maybe white to match the bag. But for the most part, I like a macra sleigh. Next up, we have Madison Beer. She is wearing a pair of black hot pants and then also wearing a macrame look. It's a black macrame bra top. I don't really understand how it's covering things. Not like conceptually how it's covering things, but like technically from like a construction standpoint, I don't understand how I'm not seeing knit. Maybe it's because we're wearing the pasties, but like the girls are out, we're living, we're laughing, we're loving. Brown boots, don't really love in a little white sort of fluffy yarn. I don't really get how that ties in. I get maybe because it's trying to play with the top, but it's not working for me. Not my favorite Madison Beer look by a long shot. Next up, we have Rosalia, and she is wearing Acne Studios. This is a custom look, and it's a pink frothy jacket that is sheer. It has froth fabrics flowing all the way down, and then there's a black bra and black pant, black boot, and she's wearing some sort of crazy headpiece, and I like the headpiece. It's like a helmet. I think the jacket is great. I think the lightness of it really, really works, and the black underneath plays off of it really, really well. I think, again, for a performance look, I think this is a great way to show, like, you don't have to just do, like, boring athleisure sort of styles. Like, you can have something that really has a fluidity, has a motion, has a movement. That's going to help you on stage to really sort of create an aura. And I think this is a great way of showcasing that ability to have both things, chic, fashion, and performance ready. It's possible. Rosalia is proving it to us. I like it. I love it. It's fun. Next up, we have Saweetie, and she is wearing a poster girl top and a Stinson Haas pant. The top is leather embossed to look like crocodile. It's in a brown, and there's a lace-up detail running all throughout the front, exposing a lot of the body. It's a halter style, so I believe that it's probably backless to a degree. I like it. I think it's fun. As for the pants, there is a little bit of embossed leather going on right sort of in the pelvic region. There, again, is that sort of lace-up detail, sort of giving you a continuity. And then the rest of the pants are in what look to be like a brown sort of leather. There's tassels and fringe running down the sides. It's very sort of chappy without the chap element. It feels very Western. It feels very leathery, again, like a different kind of bohemian, a little bit more natural to the earth, utilize every part of the animal. I like the top a lot. I just wish the pants sort of fit a little bit more with the vibe. I just think they're kind of different styles, and I don't love that. Next up, we have Shawn Mendes, white t-shirt, handkerchief, tan pants, boots, blah. We then had Shay Mitchell in a leather corset. It's like a very basque looking style. I like it. And a matching leather skirt. It looks almost like it's sort of faux snakeskin or a faux python of some sort. I think it's cute. I wish the boots were not black. I wish that they were brown. I don't really understand the brown and the black thing. I just feel like that's a constant, oh, wearing brown outfit or brown shoes. Well, let me do black on the other. It's like, it doesn't work. Doesn't make sense. I don't get it. I'm not understanding. Besides all of the black elements, the brown looks really, really great. So thank you. Next up, we have Tana Mongeau, and she is wearing Diesel. She is wearing that gorgeous Glen Martens denim zipper top. It's a crop top, strapless, has a big Diesel D on the front, and then a pair of big baggy jeans. And I like the way that they cover her shoes. It's fun. Diesel, fine. Listen, again, like, it's really hard to make Glen Martens clothes look bad. You really gotta mess with it to even get possibly in that arena. So she looks good. Next up, we have Teyana Taylor. I don't know who she's wearing, but I just know that Teyana Taylor consistently stays a fashion girl. Like, that jacket, it's like a frock coat. It's beautiful in this tan, creamy, peachy leather. The white strips, it almost looks like threads that run throughout it. It's really fun. It's a beautiful detail. I think it's really, really great. The way that it's buttoned to right above the navel and then it flows out with the tassels on the bottom, like, it's just chic. Then you have a green cargo-ish pant. It's printed, I like. And then the boots, green, gorgeous, fun, have a military vibe to them with the rest of the sort of military stuff that's going on with this jacket. Like, it's just, it's great. It's stylish, it's fun, the colors work together. Teyana Taylor just gets it. You know what I mean? She really just, she understands. Then we had Troye Sivan and Charli XCX. Now, I don't know who Troy is wearing, but it's black leather blazer with a black pant. Nothing really crazy here, nothing really super memorable. As for Charli XCX, she's actually wearing a custom look from Marni. It's, I believe, a black leather bodysuit, and then it's covered in what look like rings and crystals and studs of some sort in like metal. There's a matching glove. I'm into it. I think it's fun. I think it's funky. It feels very Marni-esque. A lot of different little ragtag things sort of recycled and upcycled to make a new look. I think it's fun. Next up, we have Tyler, the Creator, and he is wearing a Golf Le Fleur top. It's a pink Cuban shirt. It's in a silk. It has Golf Le Fleur and a little angel and suitcases, shoes, things like that. There's a pair of little cut-off khaki pants and then the always awful white socks and black sandals. So thank you, Tyler. We appreciate your service. So that is the end of our Coachella 2023 Weekend 1 Fashion Roast and Review. Listen, if the fashions are good enough, stick around for next week because things will happen. Let's get into our best and worst, though. So listen, best, I'm going to give it to Björk, Noir, Ninomiya. Doechi, also in the Rick Owens, is really, really good. Jisoo in the David Coma, I liked. And Jennie in the Seo Seong Yeon. Flo Milli in the Pucci. Yeah, as for worst, Camila Cabello, Tyler, the Creator, for obvious reasons. The socks and sandals are egregious. Madison Beer, Hailey Bieber, Glorilla. I think that's enough. That is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one, and TTYL.